Hi, welcome, yes, to another moment in time to, yes, come back home to your center, wherever that may be. And if you really did practice Tuesday's class before Wednesday's class, you know that we have, and if you read the announcement, we have started just a brief study of energy centers, the 7 major ones, because there's a lot more than 7. These are the 7 major ones, the energy centers housed in your physiology of your central nervous system. Yes, it helps when these energy centers are moving and vibrating at a certain frequency. Yeah, it brings health, just like anything else. If you have tension in your arm or in your leg, yeah, this doesn't feel so good. And yeah, if there's a blockage in your root chakra or something, yeah, you just might not feel that secure. So thank you for being open. I know some are more open to the study than others, but it's just a way of, as I've mentioned before, just to look how your life is going. Where do you feel comfortable? Where you do not? Are you confident? Do you speak your truth? All of these are ways of actually of the yoga philosophy as well as the chakra system. The chakra system is not only for the brought forth through the yoga way. Many other cultures have reference to this. And on your book list, actually in module 1, there are 3 books about the chakras. Of course, anything you know, as you know, I also offer many articles, maybe too many articles of the chakras, but every resource explains them sometimes in a different way, and it might speak to you more than one than the other. That's why I offer a few of the articles, but also the 3 books also on the book list. One is, Sonia Choquette, True Balance is amazing. She goes through it ways if you're just a little bit imbalanced or medium imbalanced or a lot imbalanced. And she offers many ways to balance the energy within. And she has great humor too. And Anatomy of the Spirit is another wonderful resource. And the author compares the chakras, to other cultures as well. So there's a little more of a cultural feel, which is awesome. And the healing with the chakras is more a condensed version, but it's very particular and very exact, and offers many suggestions also to balance the chakras and what happens if it's not balanced, and yeah, just ways in which you are able to bring more health and well-being to your life. So let's get to it, right? So, and you might notice that you're starting to practice yoga throughout your day, as some of you already mentioned, being aware of your breath. Yeah. So it's not like, oh, I practice for this hour and a half and then this hour. No, it could be throughout the whole day that maybe you're more aware of how you're grounded to the earth. Oh, yeah. Or maybe how your posture is. Is it slumped? Is it not? Oh, what does feel tight here? Oh, I think I'll stretch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that awareness is what yoga is. I think one of the many things yoga is all about, the awareness and your breath. So let's come back to the mat. And you might already be there. Might already have some music on. And some students have mentioned, yeah, that does also help to set the tone. But just, again, your mindfulness and your breathing sets the tone. So once again, lying down, knees bent. Yes, feet to the earth. Earth beneath us. There is something very grounding, of course, about that, of the energy thereof, blending the earth energy. As I mentioned even earlier classes, the pulse, the vibration of the earth's energy is very similar, and the frequency is when Our brain is under a meditation. So it is, even measuring it, very soothing, very healing, very calming. So I invite you once again, wiggle your toes. Yes, in the warm sand, just as if, yeah, or maybe the soft grass. This is, again, using your wonderful visualization, imagination. Feel, breathe. You might even breathe as you inhale, of course, breathe, but as you still expanding, lower, middle, upper torso, the exhale softening back to place. You might imagine now the inhale drawing the energy from the earth through your legs, up through your spinal column, all the way up to the crown. That's a nice inhale. And the exhale flows back down the spine, down to the hips, the knees, the ankles, the feet, to the earth. This is also helping us to balance our root chakra, located at the base of the spine, at the coccygeal plexus. Remember, wherever there's a bundle of nerves, yeah, there is a nice energy center right there to be aware of and to breathe into. So yeah, let's do that again. Inhale from the earth, center, the center of the earth. Inhale. Up the energy, up through the legs, up to the spine, up to the crown. Opening more channels through the body for energy to flow. Exhaling back down, down through the legs, down into the feet. And maybe one more time on your own timing. Yeah, still expand the belly, middle, upper chest. The exhale softens, whether you're exhaling through the nose or the mouth. Yeah. And then I invite you to breathe normally, or still a little slower, deeper. Maybe visualizing and reflecting as well about the attributes when the root chakra is in balance. As I mentioned yesterday, when in balance, the root chakra actually vibrates at the frequency of red. Red is a very warm color, rooting you to the earth. When it is in balance, when it is vibrating at this frequency, it brings security to our lives, stability. Yeah, secure foundation. Yeah, so we can easily manifest from there. We have also practical thinking, clear thinking, and our survival needs are met. Yes, with a strong foundation, survival needs met, food, shelter, clothing. We feel secure, and when that foundation is strong, yeah, then there's more energy to be creative. There's a flow of the energy. When the earth energy is stable beneath us, more or less, the earth is the element that governs the root chakra. Different ways to balance the energy is maybe, or maybe you already wore the color red. Yesterday you might have too, most of us, yeah, but yesterday in this time frame with Valentine's Day, yeah, you might even, or maybe today, subconsciously, maybe needing to bring more stability in your life. Wearing the color red, eating red foods, red gemstones, or black tourmaline, black and hematite, that's also helped to ground. Red jasper, garnet, essential oils. I know some of you are very much into essential oils. Maybe cedar wood, garlic even. Clove is also very grounding. And chanting, there's a sound from the Sanskrit of Lam that you can chant over and over again. Lam. Helping to ground. And another way, of course, is our yoga practice. Yay. to feel the feet. Yeah, tree posture will maybe do again today. But yeah, and to feel, and where's your focus? Where is your thoughts? Are they grounded? Or it's all up in the air, or maybe you don't know where you're going to live, or where you're going to stay, or what your major should be. Yeah, grounding. Yeah, root chakra. Breathe. Maybe just visualize the color red. March. I mentioned yesterday, March. March, feet into the earth, and maybe walking barefoot, really truly walking barefoot in the sand at the beach or the soft grass. I invite you, this is your extra homework, is to do something for your root chakra. Maybe just walk barefoot, maybe do a little more yoga, or doing the qigong balance. So there's ways to just to bring that energy into balance, to bring a strong foundation to our lives, to our clear thinking. And on that note, let's continue to breathe. Coming back home again to our center, breathing. And just now maybe allow that exhale to let go. Yeah. Just let go of what to do and how to do it. Yeah. And it's really time to be. Just to be. So much information. Yeah, but then you let it be. Let it be. Oh, did you just think of the Beatles song, Let It Be? Yeah, let it be. Okay, I have a little note for you. Let It Be, written by John Lennon. I don't know if you know how that came about, but when his mother died, he was very young, and he had a dream one night of her vision coming before him. And all she said was, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom. And I invite you now, just let it be. We've connected to the earth, we're breathing, and now we let go and let it be. Let the energy flow more deeply now as we stretch. Yeah, let's open up some new spaces. Stretching through the arm and the leg. Oh, nice deep breath here. Is it same side, same arm, same leg, or opposite arm and leg? That's up to you. It's all good. As long as you're opening. Yeah, opening more space. My friend, also a yoga teacher, was asked one time, if you could describe yoga in one word, what would it be? And she said, space. So here we are, opening up more space, same arm, same side, same leg, or different. Sometimes, again, as you know, it's nice to bring the opposite thigh to the chest. Feels good. Eventually, both arms, both legs. Again, opening the channels, circling wrists and ankles, opening the spaces there. And if you do have any ankle or wrist or ankle, malady, make sure you warm them up here. I have another ankle stretch and wrist stretch for you as well. And then, let's float those arms and legs up to the sky. How are they shaking today? How are you shaking? Yeah, shake it to the right, shake it to the left, and let everything just wibble and wobble. Nice deep breath here. On the exhale, let's lower the arms, and then let's cycle the legs just to warm them up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit further. So let's cycle slowly and in a large cycling motion. Yeah, it's easier to go larger when we go slowly. Yeah, going through the feet as well, heel, ball, toes. Remember, when your root chakra is in balance, it brings health to your bones, to your blood, to your legs, to your feet. And even the lower back, also the sacral chakra, which we'll talk about next week. It's kind of all connected. And let's go a little faster, shall we? Okay. Doo-doo. or a little faster. I know some of you are cyclists. So yeah, go for it. And then we're going to go slowly again backwards. So going reverse the circle, cycling of the legs. Try to, yeah, accentuate all the little movements in your feet, point, ball, toes, heel, flex. And maybe a little faster backwards. A little faster. And as fast as you can go. And then, yeah, we're going to shake it out again. Feet back to the earth, arms. Yeah, if you continue to do that for another minute or so, you can, yeah, you might even notice your breath might have quickened a bit. So once again, we go slow into the breath and ask right leg, left leg, which leg would you like to start first? So yeah, just bring one thigh of your body's choice. Your body's choice, you know, we've shifted gears in that respect. It's not your decision, it's your body's decision. Your body is now in the front seat of the car driving the way, and your mind is in the back seat. So your body's in charge. Okay. Inhale, exhale, stretch the supporting leg long. Remember, the knee is more toward your head and the hip joint away from you. And we're just softening, and we're just going over the principles of our practice in a relatively I was going to say easy posture. I didn't want to use the word easy per se, because yeah, I just want to say in a posture, we don't have to worry about our balance or anything. We're defining and reminding ourselves of the principle of going with the flow, allowing opposite lines of energy, honoring the edge. Inhale and exhale, open the side to the side, opposite hip staying down. Long spine, relax the jaw, relax the breath. Yeah, circling slowly. And I know some students have mentioned there's sometimes a little popping noise or sound, or that is, yeah, there's a lot of tendons, ligaments, yeah. And if there's no pain, then yeah, that would be fine, I would say. But always go gently. If there is pain, I would do less of a circumference. Yeah, don't make it as wide. Maybe go slowly as well. Reversing at any time. Notice where it all feels okay, and notice maybe where it does not. And these are principles for your life too, right? Yeah, notice what you do during the day. What does feel good and maybe not? Yeah. And another circle, gently exhale, thigh to the chest. Today, let's turn the knee outward, ankle over your opposite knee to make like the letter 4. And inhale, exhale. Maybe that bottom leg can lift so you can weave your arm right through to the back of the knee or the front of the knee. I have mentioned also that if you cannot lift the bottom foot off, you could put a little folded towel underneath that bottom foot. Still feeling a stretch, yeah, and the outer hip of the leg that's up, ankle over. You can draw on different sides. Also, you can use a strap to help bring that bottom leg up a little bit too, to feel the stretch there. So we're breathing, we're feeling more space there. If your right ankle is over the knee, maybe a little roll to the left. And reach out through the right hip, more space there, more release there. Or left ankle up, roll to the right, yeah, vice versa. And maybe a little roll side to side. Rolling your head in the opposite direction, releasing any neck tension as well. It's like a little baby spinal twist. Another variation for some that already might know, yeah, You might straighten. If this feels good for your supporting leg, you can straighten the leg. If that's too much, I bend it again. Nice deep breath to soften, send the breath there. Soften, melt the tension away. A nice exhale. Yeah, maybe a little longer of an exhale. Gently back to center, supporting foot down. Reach your working leg up to the sky with a nice ankle rotation. Open those toes far and wide apart. Calves and shins. Love this. Have you noticed? As we did yesterday, after you reverse the circle a few circles. Yeah, reversing helps. Kind of stretches and strengthens the other way around. But we're going to relax the ankle eventually to just crunch and open the toes, making a little fist with your foot to activate all those 7,000 nerve endings and just a little more connection to earth energy. Yeah. So I would say this might even help to balance the energy of the root chakra. And eventually, yeah, after opening, closing, crunching, open, we're going to flex again, heel reaches. Oh, nice long leg. How are your hamstrings? Because that's coming up. Yep. So yes, once again, wouldn't hurt to shake or to quick rub or to tap. Oh, yesterday, do you remember we massaged in a cross fiber stroke our IT band? Well, here too, you can cross fiber your hamstring muscles as well. Cross fibering goes sideways against the grain of the muscles. It's a very therapeutic massage stroke. So you can dig your fingertips deep into the muscle fibers and rub sideways. And you can kind of feel against the grain of the muscles. If you've ever had a hamstring injury, there's scar tissue that forms, and it's sometimes kind of easier to re-injure. So this also helps, this gets a little more blood flow and helps also scar tissue to be a little more healthy, so they say. So yeah, you can go up and down, cross fibering anytime really, that before a hamstring stretch or throughout the day. But what about ready? Yeah, it is time for a nice hamstring stretch. I always feel to be safe, the hamstrings, because again, they're very strong and sometimes mighty tense. So anything that helps to loosen them up first is very beneficial for a safe hamstring stretch. So again, when ready to extend the leg, bend the knee a little bit if need be. Remember not to strain the back of the knee. Clasping above or below or using a strap. Or first two fingers around that big toe. We're breathing, we're softening, we're letting go. Leg up in the air, lying down. Not much else to do, just to be. Be with the breath. Now close your eyes. Yeah, close your eyes and see inward. Feel inward. How are the hamstrings liking this? How's your back? Sometimes my back tenses up as soon as my leg goes in the air. I don't know why. So I have to remind my body to feel the breath, release, letting go, soft. Maybe stretching your supporting leg long. Flexing the foot. Do you feel? Yeah, that might feel a little more stretch there, maybe pointing. Maybe like another ankle rotation for your hamstrings. But do soften because it is time to let go. Send the breath right there. Again, like that. The water down through the garden hose, the nozzle. Yeah, it's directing. Your breath is, the energy of the water that's directed right there. Do soften. Any variation, I know we have crossed over the midline a little bit, an inch by inch, keeping the hip down. Now, if you'd like to go further, then the hip can lift and the leg can cross over a little further, whether you're propping it up or using the strap like a sling. A sling. Yeah, so if the strap is still around the ball of the foot, you can, as it crosses over, you can hold with the opposite hand. That feels good. Inhale up to center and then open out to the side. Opposite hip stays down here. Again, you can use it as a sling, or you can prop the legs, or first your fingers and thumb wrapping around that big toe. Another deep breath. Let this breath soften. And you can, there's always wiggle room. If the leg is out to the side, you can maybe lift it a little higher toward the shoulder or a little out, straight out from the hip, see where it feels good. But eventually, yes, we're coming back to center, sit-up posture, yay. So feel the, when you are ready, we're preparing for strength. So feel the support of the standing foot, rebound the energy up to the crown. And exhale into the sit-up pose by reaching up to your ankle. Core, yes, navel into the front of the spine. An extra, yeah, you feel the, yeah, brings the navel in, activates the core more. Other variation is crossing wrists, elbows out to the side. Kind of opens the back of the heart. Another variation, if you need more oomph, is to lift the supporting foot or hover the leg. Another variation, if you wish to try, is actually hovering arms. You can keep the leg covered, or maybe not. Palms up or palms down if the arms are hovered. But most importantly is the breath. Navel squeezing to the front of the spine, especially on every exhale. Still expanding on the inhale. And if you need to put the supporting foot down again, of course, lengthen the neck. Another exhale. And then when about ready, yes, supporting foot lowers, inhale, keep the lifted leg high as you roll the back down, exhale. And then arms down by your side. Is the leg still lifted? Oh, good. And then we're going to exhale like we did yesterday, reaching the leg away from you, hovering off the floor. Still reach out through the crown. Yeah, core strong. Quads are strong here too. Pointing the foot, your inhale lifts the leg. With ease and grace. Your breath is in charge. Your breath and movement are together as one. The breath, if you can imagine, is like kind of like a string that's attached to the foot. So your inhale is drawing the leg up as you point the foot. And then exhale, flex, reach out through the heel. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Even, the movement is even. Yeah. I know gravity would love to clunk it down faster, but again, our breath is in charge as it floats up to the sky again. We're just going to shake it all out. Yeah. Both feet. Yeah. Finally back to the earth. Both feet. Yeah. Feel the spine lengthen. Any difference? Right leg, left leg. So when ready, let's transfer the weight to that foot to bring the second thigh out, up, and draped over the chest. We're draping. Yeah, it's not a knee press. I'm just reminding you because there's different layers. I mean, levels and layers, yeah, of letting go. I can sort of let go. I can maybe let go a little more. Oh yeah, I can let go. Maybe my shoulders can rest here. Maybe my jaw too. As my jaw relaxes, I notice my hips. Yeah. And then we get more in tune. So another deep breath here. Maybe stretch the supporting leg long. Feels good. And we're softening. We're letting go. We're in the moment. Just for you. This is your time. Such a gift. And inhale and exhale. When ready, you're going to cup the hand upon the knee to open this thigh out to the side. Opposite hip staying down. Circling when ready to do so. And I circle around. Notice the lower back might love this too. Sometimes my lower back actually feels like it's adjusting a bit. Pause where you feel like there's a little tight space that might need a little more loving energy there as you exhale there, or maybe a little erasing movements up and down or sideways. Reversing. So we're just getting in tune again to where our energy is stuck. We're getting in tune to our body's messages to listen with more clarity and honoring it. Yeah. I've been at a grocery store and I'm listening to my back's messages saying, you need to stretch, but I'm in the grocery store. What do? So I stop, I breathe. I'm almost tempted to lie on the floor and to stretch my back, but I haven't done that at the grocery store yet. But I did do that. You don't need to know this, but I did do this. I was taking a walk around the block and my back was telling me, you need to lie down and stretch. So I did, but I just made sure nobody was really there watching. And yeah, it was all good. So you never know if you see me outside in the world. If I'm lying down on the sidewalk, stretching my back, you know everything is okay. Okay, so let's continue. Thigh drapes back over the chest, ankle over your supporting knee, lifting both thighs up, trying to keep this lifted knee out to the side, the leg that you're working with now. And again, you can clasp the back of the supporting leg or front, put a little blanket right underneath or rolled up towel underneath the bottom foot. Or as I mentioned, you can also use a strap. But do breathe wherever you feel a stretch. Even if that foot isn't lifted, you might still feel a stretch. Yeah, in that outer hip. Now, if your left ankle is over your right knee, that's your left hip to stretch. Yeah, roll a little to the right. Release out through the hip. If your right ankle is over your left knee, yeah, release still out through the hip. That's stretching. And then we go into a nice slow roll side to side, rolling your head in the opposite direction. You can go slower. Maybe stretch the supporting leg up to the sky. Does that give you a little more? Well, of course, the hamstring could be stretching here too, but it might give you more stretch in your outer hip. Nice deep breath. I recommended yesterday to maybe review the wonderful anatomical charts that I have offered in module 1. Yeah, where all your muscles are and your internal organs. Because then you'll see maybe where that piriformis muscle is that we're stretching right now. Yeah, and other buttocks muscles too. So another breath, another moment to let go. Coming back to center, supporting foot down, reach your working leg up to the sky, and circling the ankle. Does that feel good? Inhale, exhale, stretch the toes. Yeah, getting a little wiggle room even here. Reversing the circle slowly. Another deep breath. When ready to relax the ankle and just crunch and open the toes, crunch and open, please do. Yeah, feel the muscles and the feet and all the little joints alive and well. And when ready, yeah, well, flex, heel reaches to the beautiful blue sky. And yeah, how are your hamstrings? Okay, we can shake it all out again or rub briskly, tapping. And our new variation of what to do, maybe to get a little more energy flow, is the cross fiber massage. So if you are massaging, I bend the knee even more here. That kind of, yeah, you're allowed to get deeper into the muscle fibers. Fingertips deep into the muscle fibers, inch or two, and then rub sideways, down and up. Maybe a little to the side, or straight down the middle of the hamstrings. Yeah, that might feel, sometimes it feels a little sensitive. So notice, feel, don't go too far, too fast, too soon. But when about ready, yeah, hamstrings are ready to release their tension as you take a deep breath in. Exhale, maybe off the mouth, gentle clasp, or again, if you're using a strap, or first two fingers around that big toe. We soften, relax the back. Needing more oomph, I'd say stretch the supporting leg long. Time to let go. Deep breath in, feel the back expand. Exhale, a gentle sigh, whether it's ha sound word, or sometimes also to exhale out through pursed lips, like you're softly blowing the dandelion seeds off the dandelion. Yeah. Soft, breathe, let go. It's time. Another deep breath when ready, maybe to cross over the midline an inch or two. Possibly also with the hips staying down. And then notice as it lifts, yeah, it changes the stretch a bit. You might get a little more stretch or different stretch, whether you're propping, maybe the opposite hand of the foot, or using the strap like a sling with the opposite hand. That might feel good. And inhale back to center and open out to the side, opposite hip staying down. Yeah, if you need a little more space, and if you're next to the wall, yeah, you can move out a little bit. Again, whether it's straight out from the hip or a little higher, a little lower. Inner thigh, let's go. And when you're about ready, leg up to the sky. Yeah, we'll prepare for our sit-up posture. So supporting foot to the earth, wiggle the spine long. Yeah, that earth energy is still moving up to the crown. And then exhale. Navel squeezes to the front of the spine as you reach up to your ankle. Yeah, hamstrings are still stretching quite nicely. You can cross your wrists to clasp on either side of the leg, elbows way out to the side. Notice how the upper back feels. Maybe lifting the supporting foot feels good, a little more oomph to the core, or hover. Hovering, maybe the arms can hover too. Reaching the fingers, palms down, palms up. Yeah, I'm circling my ankles again because it feels good. You might like that too. Pointing, flexing. Exhale. Deep into your core to awaken your courage. Yeah, your confidence, your strength. Maybe put the foot back down if needed. So one more inhale, one more exhale into your core, your strength. And when ready to inhale, yeah, we're going to put the foot back to the earth, keeping the leg lifted high as we roll the back down. Preparing for the leg lift sequence. So arms down by your side or hands underneath your hips for a little more support. We inhale. Exhale, flexing the foot. We reach the leg further away from us, out through the crown, out through the leg here. Pointing the foot, the leg lifts with the breath. And then we cast the leg out. Yeah, exhale. Reaching the way, just using the muscles that are required, core, leg, but you can relax the neck and the shoulders. Pointing foot, inhale. Slowly it floats right up. One more time. Exhale it. Reaching out longer, longer, longest. The inhale reels the leg up and in. So slowly up to the sky. Yeah, let's just shake it all about. Arms and legs. Yeah. Oh, both feet back to the earth. Feeling the support, feeling the length of our spine. Preparing for bridge. We press down into the earth to lift. Scoop that tailbone upward. The root chakra lifts high. The exhale rolls it all back down, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. Feet, yeah, hips width apart. Yep. Inhale to lift. Maybe the arms can lift up with you today. Timing breath and movement again together as one. As we exhale, the arms, the spine lowers one by one, still lengthen out through the crown, out through the tailbone. Maybe one more time. Inhale to lift on up. Nice deep breath, the exhale brings it all back down to the earth, preparing for our strengthening phase of the bridge. Keeping palms down here, arms by your side to scoop it on up. Inhale, lift to the height that feels good. Keep the natural curve to your neck. Inner thighs active, knees over ankles, maybe palms rolled up, maybe shoulder blades a little closer to the spine. And that might enable you to interlace fingers, chest expansion arm. Nice deep breath here. Now to bring a little more oomph to this strength, some of you might be able to transfer the weight to one foot or the other foot. Sometimes that's easier if palms are facing down to the earth again. So shifting weight, right foot, left foot, maybe that other foot can lift off. You can stay there, breathe there, a few breaths. Maybe try the other side, see how that feels. Hips stay level. If it feels better for both feet to be down right now, of course, keep both feet. Maybe just shift the weight, yeah. And then maybe next week lift, yeah, or tomorrow. Another deep breath to lift top and both feet back to the earth, yeah. And slowly roll through the spine. Another thighs to the chest, another nice hug, circling both thighs around, massaging the lower back. Another deep breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale, rocking on up to your seated posture today. Yeah, seated postures, finally. Yeah, so let's just wiggle the legs before you, just keep them all nice and warmed up and loose. And let's stretch your right leg long for forward head to knee. Sole of the foot of your left foot inside to the inner thigh. Oh, it's kind of like a seated tree posture. How about that? So we're going to bring your right hip back so you align your chest over your thigh to where everything is comfortable. Your right knee is up to the sky. And we're going to inhale, lifting the energy of the earth and around us and above us. And we're going to tip the pelvis forward with a nice long straight back, exhaling into forward head to knee. And then relax the arms. We can't go any further in a flat back. Then we can relax the shoulders, relax your head, relax your mind, relax your thoughts. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Pointing foot, flexing foot. You feel more stretch as you flex. For those that are a little more flexible, you might even clasp the sole of your foot. Leveling the shoulders. Deep breath here to let go here. Maybe another letting go here. Soften, soften. When about ready, we're going to roll on up, walking the hands up. And stretch both legs. Oh, you might notice one is longer than the other. And then the other side. So stretch now your left leg long, right foot to the inner thigh to where it feels good. As you know, I have a little compromised here. So yeah, I just want to make sure your right foot is into the left inner thigh as high as it can go. But do bring that left hip back to align chest over the thigh. We're going to inhale to lift tall, tipping the pelvis forward. Remember, it's not a fold of the waist. It's tipping pelvis forward so the tailbone reaches where the floor meets the wall. If you can't go any further in a flat back, some of you might bring the chest way over to the thigh. Yeah. But go where it feels good, and then relax the arms, the hands. Relax your mind, then you can relax the shoulders. Deep breath, pointing foot, flexing foot. Pointing foot, flexing foot, maybe to reach, if you're able, yeah, around the sole of the foot. Another breath or two here to soften. Close your eyes. Sometimes that helps you focus more inside, or just soft focus. Lengthen, breathe, slow down that exhale. And then gently, you're going to roll on up when you're ready. Wiggle both legs before you. Nice stretch. Now coming to strengthen into the V-sit posture. So we're going to balance on the tailbone. If tailbone is a little sore, speaking of root chakra, you might even sit on just a little folded blanket, towel. And then we're going to lift one foot off, the other foot off. You can hug if you wish, if that feels more secure, or more oomph to stretch the arms. Another more oomph for some, you might straighten, alternating legs straightening, or maybe both legs straightening. I think I'm going to alternate. Long spine, easy breath. Core strong, legs strong too, yeah. Another inhale this time. If they were straightened, you might bend both knees again. And then let's come to bound angle. So soles of the feet together. And you might bring them in as close as you can. These are my feet. Close as you can to the body, or maybe a little medium, or maybe further out. And that's up to you too, because the stretch will feel differently. So see how it feels. Maybe soles of the feet. Yeah, feet a little closer, a little further away, knees way out and down to the ground. You might even flutter a bit. Long spine. Nice deep breath. And then we're going to inhale tall. Exhale, again, tipping the pelvis forward. Not a fold from the base. Tipping the pelvis forward. Long spine. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, then to relax the shoulders, the arms, the head, your mind. Yeah, stretching postures, that is more relaxing. Strengthening postures, a little more invigorating. So we're balancing that energy. Some of your, maybe some of you might even bring the chest to the feet and maybe walk the fingertips, the arms stretched way out to the floor. Or maybe hug ankle or toes. Another deep breath. Ready, we're going to roll on up. Inhaling, feet to the floor. If wrists are hurting, you might come into fist, thumbs pointing toward you for reverse table. So we're going to press down the floor, lift the navel to the sky, face to the sky. Nice deep breath here. Another inhale. And exhale, hips down. And then just drape the chest over. Just relax the back a bit, and the shoulders and the wrists. Speaking of wrists, I did mention I might show you a different wrist stretch rather than just circling the wrist. Now, if you do have any wrist problems, I would go very, very gently with this. This is helping to warm them up and also to bring a little more attention to the retinaculum, I think it's called, a band of connective tissue that brings all the tendons. It's kind of like a little bracelet. And that's what you're going to do. Yeah. So let's bring elbow to your knee and your forefinger and thumb wrap around the wrist and make a little tight bracelet there. And then you pull down, still kind of squeezing in there. And then you wave. Yeah. A little waving of the hand. And you can feel a little stretch in there, but always go gently, always go gently, always go gently. Yeah. Yeah. That might bring a little more freedom in the wrist. And of course, your other side, your elbow is to the knee because when you have a nice little bracelet of the thumb and the first finger around, there, point your finger, yeah, and you squeeze gently and push down, then yeah, you have a brace there. So your elbows over the knee, and then you wait very gently, or maybe a little more movement. Yeah, so that again depends on how it feels for you. A little more movement to your wrists. So let's flip over to do the unreversed table, which is a table. So again, you can come into fists here, or maybe if your wrists are okay, thumbs forward. I think I mentioned yesterday too, you can also come to a folded blanket and then the heel of the hand raised a little bit and then the rest of your hand on the floor. Or also you can suction cup your palms and fingers to the floor. But here we are in a table posture. We're going to stretch to prepare for sunburn. So stretch opposite arm out and off the floor. Press away the floor, shoulder right over your wrist. Deep breath, flex the back foot. Thumb to the sky. Core breathing. And inhale to lift a little higher into a cat breath. Exhale, push away the floor, elbow, knee, forehead. Navel is up and in, forehead down. Inhale, stretch out of your navel center, reaching out to the fingers, out to the toes. One more time, exhaling. Inhale, stretch out and away and back to all fours. Other side, opposite arm and hand, opposite arm and leg. I should say opposite arm and leg. Reaching out longer, flexing foot, push away the floor. Feel your breath, your core active. Reach out of the waist. Inhale to lift a little higher to prepare for cat breath. Exhale, pull it all in. Still push away the floor. Exhale, exhale, in. Inhale to reach out. Exhale, pull the center in. Push away the floor, round the spine. Inhale to stretch. And exhale, back down. Now from here, we're going to stretch back with the right leg, step back with the left into a forward plank. Now, again, if your wrists are hurting, you can also come to elbows. If you need more, I would come to elbows anyway, and interlace fingers. Elbows, shoulders right over your elbows, and then stretch one leg and then the other leg. And breathe. Now, if either of those is not working for you, I'm going to say if you come back to hands, you can, from your noticing this isn't working, you can lower the knees down, but the spine is long, aligned with the pelvis, so the hips are not pushed back. So you can take your forward plank like so, or like so, or coming to elbows like so. But hopefully you pick one of those and you're breathing. And then slowly exhale. Let's all exhale, knees, chest forward, down. And then coming back up, hands and knees. From hands and knees, that is. Yeah. We're going to go into our downward dog. So let's tuck those toes under, push away the floor. Maybe suction cup the palms upward, inner elbows toward each other. Walking the dog, get a nice stretch back. Neck is long. Ears are by your forearms, so the head doesn't hang before, or after, Push away. Another deep breath here. And then stretch both heels to the earth. And then gently, let's walk feet into hands, hands into feet for a forward fold. Knees can stay straight or slightly bent. You can clasp your elbows, a gentle sway. Feel the weight of your head. Another deep breath. And gently walking the hands up the thighs, rolling on up, or let the arms hang. Little variations of the theme. Standing tall. Yeah, remember if you get dizzy or something, we're going to put the head again below the heart and then just come up slowly. Standing tall, that sounds very root chakra-esque to me. Because we're standing tall on our own 2 feet, secure, foundation strong, ready to move forward with ease. So let's just feel that. Oh, and that reminds me of for every situation in our lives too, there's positive affirmations. I don't know if any of you have already practiced affirmations, and there's a whole science behind that too. An affirmation, for your root chakra would be, I am secure. I am stable. I have clear thinking. I have a strong foundation beneath me. So speaking of the strong foundation, feet hips width apart, toes straight forward. Drop. Speaking of root chakra, your tailbone drop to the earth, crown of the head high. And again, as you feel the energy from the crown to the sky and the tailbone to the earth, feel more space between your vertebrae, more space for your internal organs to function, just in your standing posture alone. So much is going on here, connecting to earth, opening, more channels of energy to flow, to bring in more health. Bringing in more health to your digestion system. Let's bring the palms facing upward as we inhale. And palms facing down as we exhale. Inhale, helping again to bring energy, if you might imagine, from the earth through all your digestive organs. And then some even to your lungs, to your heart, and exhale any tension away. Back to the earth to be recycled. Soften the knees. Inhale. And exhale. Just bringing more peace and calm to your internal organs. Your gut is your second brain. There's a lot of, as I mentioned, the biggest nerve. There's a lot of information that comes from the gut to your brain. And here we are relaxing our wonderful gut. We're bringing in new energy to help with digestion, and exhale all that is not needed to feel a little more supported and strong stability beneath us. And back to center. Let's step forward, shall we, with our leg of your choice, I would say, for warrior 1. Stepping forward and then step way back with the other leg. Now your hips are coming to your front. Your back foot is just angled out a little bit. Your front foot is straight forward. Stability. And then float the arms upward. The exhale pushes with the back foot, so then your front knee bends right over your ankle. I like to say how it stretches over the ankle. Palms unite, tailbone rooted still. We are grounded, we are secure. And then the inhale from the waist up. Exhale back to the earth. Still lengthening. If you want to lengthen more, we can lift the heart as you inhale. Lifting the heart, lifting the face to the sky. Relax the shoulders. Yeah, feel your balance might have changed with the focus going upward. Another 2 breaths. And now in your next inhale, we'll lift to center. Exhale, palms to the heart. We're going to lean forward to bring both feet then together. How'd that feel? Other side? Okay, so now your other leg goes way back. Other leg forward in a nice wide forward stride. Back toes, as I mentioned, are angled out just a little bit. Both hip bones facing your forward. And then float the arms upward. The exhale pushes with the back heel foot. So then your front knee kind of stretches forward, right over the ankle. Knee faces second, third toe. Drop the tail. Feel your legs connected to our Mother Earth. And then we inhale, reaching up from the waist, reaching the arms to beautiful sky. Relax the shoulders, tailbone still rooting to the earth. We then can inhale the heart, lifting. Face lifting, shoulders relax. Notice the balance might have changed. Yeah. Feel all your toes alive. Connecting to earth energy from the heel, toes, underneath the big toe joint, little toe joint. Another deep breath. And exhale, palms to the heart, leaning forward, back to 2 feet. And a little cheekbone bounce, feet and hips width apart, or maybe a little shoulders width apart. Yeah. And then a little bounce. Again, connecting to the earth, helping our root chakra become vibrating at the color red. Yeah, and that's how we see different colors, because they have different vibrational patterns to them. Yeah, relax the shoulders. Back to center. Yeah, do you feel the tingling? Yes, energy is moving. So let's open wide the stride, facing forward for chest expansion, heart expansion. Can you imagine? This is very good for your heart chakra as well. And they all do work with each other, but the root, they build upon each other as well. That's why we usually start with the root chakra, with a strong foundation. So let's just float the arms upward. I know some of you have no problem interlacing fingers behind you. Some of you may have a little bit of a problem. And then if you do, you can have the strap, and then, yeah, you can hold on to it here as we then squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the arms, whether you're using a strap or interlacing fingers. We're going to inhale to lift, forward folding on the exhale. We usually exhale into a stretching posture. So here we breathe. If you need to get your legs a little further apart, you can wiggle them out for a little different or more stretch. And then we're going to shift to the left knee bending. Lift the arms. Exhale over, tailbone high. Deep breath here. Your right leg stays as straight as it can be. And then we're going to inhale, center, exhale, right knee bend, left leg straight. Exhale. Let it go. Maybe the arms can lift a little higher, up and over maybe. And slowly back to center. Both knees can slightly bend or straighten. Coming up, we're going to lift the arms high as we press into the floor, lifting the torso up to center. Lift the arms, lift the arms. We're going to lift the heart again all the way up. And then exhale the arms, relax. Relax the fingers. I notice the arms just can float. Amazing. Floating arms because energy is flowing so abundantly. You don't have to lift them. Yeah. Speaking of legs wide apart here, yesterday we had triangle. Let's review triangle today also. So let's turn our left toes out 90 degrees, heel intersecting the middle of your back arch. Right toes angle in a little bit. So let's start with hips level. Oh, we're going to float the arms again. As we inhale, we're floating the arms. And now there's the shift in the hips. So the shift in the hips to your right, feel that left hip joint creased right there, and your whole left side aligned with your left thigh, reaching to the opposite side of the room. So we're seeing how long we can get here, not how low. Oh, hello. And then touch gently, and you can't reach any further. Top arm high, looking up or straight ahead, and breathe. Legs are long into the earth. In, exhale. Coming out of triangle, we're going to inhale, exhale down, and then reversing triangle, we'll inhale up through the whole left side. Left arm reaching out of the waist, left leg down from the waist, and back to center. And let's turn those toes inward, and now your right toes out 90 degrees from your front. Level the waist. Legs are straightened, but don't lock the knee back. Yeah. No locking of joints. We're lengthening and straightening, but not. Thank you. Inhale to float the arms upward. Relax the shoulders, elbows, wrist, fingers. And then we're going to shift the hips. A little shift. Feel the crease right into your right hip now as your right side lengthens over your right thigh. Reaching for the opposite side of the room. So you can't reach any further. The touch gently, not a prop, but a touch of the bottom hand. Reach the top high. Make sure your lower back is lengthened, not overly arched. Another breath or two here. Lengthening out through the crown, down into the leg. Inhale slowly to lift. Exhale the other half. Inhale to reverse triangle. And exhale back to center. Let's wiggle our toes in and out, standing tall for a few moments of rooting in tree posture. Yay. You might imagine your most favorite tree. A lot of trees are blooming right now. The orchid trees are blooming, and ornamental pears and other trees. Yeah, so you might notice, or maybe it's a big pine tree. Maybe it's the trees in the mountains that you know of, the tree in your backyard when you were little. So imagine your most beautiful, or just imagine the most beautiful tree before you. And open the eyes, find that one point of focus. Shift to the weight of the foot that you want to start with. The roots are already growing there. The arms do float up to help with the balance. Your other foot lifts, sole of the foot below the knee or above the knee. You might need a little help with the hand if it goes above the knee. Heel, that foot nicely into the thigh. See where that bottom foot needs to be, the lifted foot. Focusing, breathing, rooting into the earth. You are the most beautiful tree that you know, with a strong foundation beneath you. Then the branches can grow to the beautiful blue sky. If needing a little more challenge, you can close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Soft focus. Knee out to the side. Another inhale. And exhale. When ready, palms to the heart. Back to 2 feet. Yeah, shake it out if need be. For your other side. Yay. We get to bring more balance. Yeah. From right to left, left to right. So shift the weight to your other leg. Relax the toes so the roots can grow. Arms float. See where your other foot should be, below the knee or above the knee. Keeping that lifted knee out to the side. Opposite hip open. Floating arms. Easy. One point of focus. And feel the stability of the tree. Yes, it's very stable. It does sway in the wind. It doesn't resist. It goes with the flow. It doesn't have worries. It doesn't worry. It doesn't have a date on Friday night. It's okay. It's okay if a branch goes here or a branch goes there. It's okay. When ready, to lift, maybe palms facing each other or united. Shoulders relaxed. Needing more challenge to close your eyes. Feel, breathe. You are strong. You're stable, secure. Another inhale. When ready, open the eyes if you wish. If they were closed, palms, feet back to the earth. Deep breath. Feeling back on 2 feet. Strong. Standing tall. Very root chakra-esque too. Standing tall. Standing on your own 2 feet. For a breath of joy. Bringing it all back together to come back to the earth. Yeah. To allow all those wonderful benefits of every posture we've done so far to be integrated into every cell. Breath of joy, here we come. See how loose you can be with 3 sniffs in. Ready to go with the and coming up with it in and lift, release, coming up and one more time and let it go all the way to the earth. We're going to roll on down. Yeah, gonna get comfortable. Little wiggle room here or there. Get a little circle of thighs. Maybe a little shake up. These are all suggestions. Yeah, you can still circle around or still, shake out a little longer or maybe take another stretch. This is kind of like your own timing of what your body needs. Maybe a little roll of the knees, side to side. Yeah, or maybe if you're a little cold, you might put a little blanket over you, or maybe a little low pillow for your head. Any other little wiggle room. For its time. I would say a double sniff in and a double ha-ha out. See how that feels with a and a ha-ha. Really letting go and repeating. And a ha-ha. Oh yeah, one more time. And a ha-ha. Yeah. We're melting into the earth, taking a slow, deep breath in. Exhale, relaxing your face. Your beautiful face. Let the eyes rest now. Your cheeks, your jaw, your lips, letting go. Feel the weight of your head upon the earth. This might allow your neck to soften. Yeah. Let the front of your neck be free. The sides of your neck, the back of your neck. As your neck relaxes, notice then your shoulders are out to let go of their tension too. Tops of the shoulders. And then breathe there, soften there, send the breath there. Send the breath down to your shoulder joints and then feel the breath flowing down through your arms and out through your fingertips. Nice deep breath in. Notice how the back is breathing. Is your lower back expanding as you inhale? The middle, the upper. We have the reference of the earth beneath us. You might feel, yeah, the lower back pressing into the earth as you inhale, middle, and the back of the heart. And soften now. Yeah, it's time to let go. No place to go, nothing to do. Just breathe, just be. Feel the abdomen rise and fall as you breathe. Rising, letting it sink back down as you exhale, massaging all your internal organs. Low, middle, upper. Do you feel your lungs expanding, your heart as you inhale? Do you feel them all relaxing as you exhale? Your right lung, your left lung are actually different. Do you feel? Or do they feel the same? One has 3 lobes to it. The other one only has 2 lobes. Yeah, so we feel, we breathe. Relax your pelvis, the buttocks muscle. You might breathe into the root chakra at the base of your spine, the coccygeal plexus. Maybe visualizing the frequency of red there. Yeah, whether you see the color red, whether you visualize it, it is the same brain activity. And just imagine and see yourself, yeah, being more secure in your life. Feel how safe you truly are. Strong foundation beneath you. That brings health to your bones, to your blood, to your legs, to your feet. So let's breathe down through our healthy legs, down through our knees, our ankles, our toes, our feet, healthy feet. Every cell truly, from the tips of our toes to the crown of our head, functioning 100% infinite potential. Yeah, every cell. Allow every cell now to breathe and to feel the benefits of every posture that we previously performed. To feel the benefits of the breath, of a balanced root chakra, bringing health to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. As you continue now to surrender to this posture of relaxation. Feel the ease of your breath. Slowly in, slowly out. Allowing every cell to remember a more peaceful, calmful way of being in this world. And awakening gently with just a little wiggle of fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles, a nice yawn of arms and legs, stretch, a little roll to the right, to the left, curling up, coming to your seated posture. When ready for one more breath altogether to send us off on our way and to seal in the practice. So when seated, yeah, root the tailbone again to our Mother Earth, crown to the sky. And an inhale that scoops the energy from the earth and around us and above us into perfect blended harmony. We bring it all back home to our open, loving hearts. I thank you. Keep it going, and namaste. Any questions? Again, let me know. I look forward. I know there's a few more reflections coming in. I look forward to seeing them all. Just give me, do be patient. I do like to comment on them all too. So sometimes that takes a few days. So take care, be well. And again, namaste.
Thank you, Professor.
Oh, you're very